From San Francisco, California, this is the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2017, and it is 5:40 p.m. when I'm recording this day 23 of the Dog Days of Podcasting. Almost completely through this month. Made it through every day so far. I'm running out of ideas, but things seem to happen every day, so I haven't had too much problems yet. Today is one of those days I do have a little bit of problems, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read an email from some friends of the show. I'm going to read one email from a friend of the show. This is a friend of the show named Jim Wren. Jim Wren has this really, really great mix CD of the month he sends out. I'm on his mailing list. Is there a way for the public to find this? I don't know. Look for Google I-94 recordings, and you'll probably come across an old website that says Detroit record label or something like that. Well, that's I-94 recordings in Detroit. Anyway, this guy Jim Wren sends out this mixtape every month. It's a CD of songs, and he hand types what's in the CD, tells you a little bit about each band. The guy's a true music lover and a true music geek, kind of like your host here, but he's probably more of a geek than me, and he's more in the Indian punk rock than me. But I like the guy. I've never met him in person, but I like him. He sent an email to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. The title of the email, hold on, let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. This is my first Tecate of the day. It's about the third sip. The third sip of the first Tecate of the day is always the best. Oh, boy, is that good. The title of the email is Bridget West, Richard Bacchus, and Ted Nugent. What do these three have in common? I have no idea. Hey, Michael, I've been meaning to send you these songs. I can't read. Hey, Michael, I've been meaning to send these songs along to you for some time now. I thought I'd finally get it done in case you were maybe hurting for quote, material in these dog days of podcasting August. I know you are a big New York Loose and Bridget West, if that's her real name, fan. So I'm sending you this Richard Bacchus song, both an acoustic version and a full band. His full band was called Richard Bacchus and the Luckiest Girls. Ricky Bacchus is the guitar player and one of the songwriters for D-Generation. Very influential band. And Ricky Bacchus, to me, wrote the best songs in D-Generation. And after D-Generation, he had a band called Richard Bacchus and the Luckiest Girls. Anyway, of course, you know Richard from being in D-Generation. Oh, he explains it. He and Bridget used to be a, quote, item, and he wrote this song called Long Lost Debby about her. Let me see if he sent me the song. I'm going to play the acoustic that he sent me. I'm going to do that in the background here. I'm going to start it over. Hey, Michael. I've been meaning to send these songs along to you for some time now. I thought I'd finally get it done in case you were maybe hurting for material in these dog days of podcasting in August. I know you're a big New York Loose Bridget West, if that's her real name, fan. So I'm sending you this Richard Bacchus song, both an acoustic version and a full band version. Of course you know Richard from being in D-Generation. He and Bridget used to be an item, and he wrote the song Long Lost Debby about her. I think he co-wrote some of the early New York Loose songs as well, such as The Luckiest Girl. The next time you interview her, ask her about the band she had with Richard called Viva La Wattage, that also had Dee Dee Ramone, who, by the way, I'm interjecting here. She also, I think, dated Dee Dee Ramone for a little while. It also contained Reed St. Mark from the band Celtic Frost and one of the dudes from Helmet. I want to hear more about that. I did not know that, Jim Wren. I will definitely ask her about that if I ever talk to her again on the show. The other song I'm sending you is a Ted Nugent song that I'm not sure if you are overly familiar with. I know it got a lot of radio play here where I live, but that's Ted's hometown of Detroit. It may have been a regional thing. Turn this down a little bit. May have been a regional thing. It was buried in the middle of one of those mid-90s records. He's referring to Ted Nugent's mid-90s records. Anyway, the song Fred Bear is about a Michigan-based bow hunter activist and, of course, friend to Ted. Yes, I know the song Fred Bear, Jim Wren, and I'm quite aware of the person Fred Bear. He pretty much taught Ted how to bow hunt. Speaking of bow hunt, I'll talk about that in a second. I could be way off base, and maybe this is a song that every self-respecting Ted fan knows and loves, but I'm expecting it might be a regional thing. You can let me know on that. I'm not a hunter myself. I'm not anti-hunter either. Just not my thing. And while I can enjoy some of Ted's music, the guy can absolutely flat out play, and more importantly, he has a sound you can recognize as Ted when he's playing. That is true. You know it's Ted Nugent when this guitar is playing. He's a way underrated guitar player. Think what you want about Ted Nugent's politics. I personally do not want to hear any musician tell me about politics and how I should think. But I do respect Ted Nugent for being so outspoken in what he believes and standing up for what he believes in. I just don't care about hearing politics with my rock and roll. I'll keep my rock stars and my politicians separate. Thank you. Anyway, he says, I really don't like his politics. He can be quite entertaining when he is defending his position, though. Circling back to the songs, yeah, I'm fine listening to Ted talk politics, but not when he's on stage playing music or when he's in the rock and roll environment. If he wants to get on CNN, whatever. But I don't care to hear it at a Ted Nugent concert. Nor do I care to hear Joe Strummer talk politics at a Clash concert, nor do I want to hear Bono talk politics at a U2. You get the idea. I don't care what side they're on. I don't care about the politics. It's about the music to me. I'm not saying anything overly groundbreaking or brave here. It's just the way it is. Okay, anyway. Circling back to the song, you can feel the magic in Fred Bear. You can sense how important this man and the lessons he taught him was to Ted. It makes the hairs on your arms stand up. I better play a little bit of Fred Bear here so people can hear it. Everybody's heard this song probably. He still plays this live. Listening to this song makes the hairs on your arms stand up, he says. Politics aside, that's what it all comes down to. The connections this man and the lessons he taught him was to Ted. It makes the hairs on your arms stand up. Oh, I'm screwing up here. Okay. Politics aside, that's what it all comes down to. The connections we as humans make with other humans, whether it be through the shared love of hunting, through music, art, or even podcasting. So this gives you an email to read, maybe something to talk about, and maybe a song or two to play. Keep doing what you're doing. Take care, Jim Wren. Thank you for the email, Jim Wren. I am, speaking of hunting and connecting with people and friends and family, I am going to Nashville this Thursday. Tomorrow, I got to get off of Facebook. Somebody's getting these notifications here. I'm going to Nashville on Thursday. Tomorrow I'll probably go through my checklist of everything I have to bring. I'm going to the Rockin' Pod Expo. About, I don't know, probably 25 or 30 rock and roll podcasts. This is a podcast convention for only rock podcasts. And there's going to be a bunch of C and D list musicians and record producers and things there. I think there's going to be a big vinyl sale there, as a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be there doing shows in this main room. It's at the Music Valley Event Center or something like that in Nashville. My stepfather John is meeting me there. And I'm going to be doing podcasts all day while I'm there. If you're in Nashville, come say hello. I'd love to say hello. I'll give you a Tecate out of my secret stash. Use the secret phrase, I love Michael Butler, and I'll give you a Tecate. So a few people have donated co-hosts to the GoFundMe. So I'm going to be doing shows with them. I'm taking a couple of people out to eat as well who did perks to the GoFundMe. And Other than that, I'm going to be hanging out with my stepfather. We'll probably go see the sights of Nashville. There's a big river that runs through Nashville. What is the name of that river? Let me see if I can get on the Google Maps here. The name of the river is the Cumberland River. There is supposedly good fishing in this Cumberland River. I may book a fishing trip while I'm there. After I do Nashville, I may or may not. I really love to go fishing in Nashville. But I'm going to go to Georgia and be spending the time in the woods fishing with my stepfather, John. Talk about connecting with friends. I'm going to be sitting in the woods, catching trout, and enjoying nature and de-stressing. Then we're going to go to Florida, and I'm going to get in the kayak every day that I'm there and go fishing in the Intercoastal Waterway. And boy, do I need this vacation bad. All right, friends. I'll let Fred Beer play out. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Send me an audio comment, area code 706-621-ROCK, or just email it to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find me at rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, RNR Geek. Find me on the Twitter, RNR Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. Thank you for the donations. Please keep the donations coming. Without your donations, this show will die a horrible, putrid, stents-filled, getting shot by people who hate my podcast in Nashville, Tennessee kind of death. We'll talk to you tomorrow, friends.
Great outdoors. We got his spirit, we got his soul. He will guide our steps, he'll guide our arrows home. The restless spirit forever roams. Fred Bear, walk with me down the trails again. Take me back where I belong. Oh, Fred Bear, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend. And I'll join you on the big hunt before too long. Oh, Fred Bear, walk with me down the trails again. Take me back where I belong. Oh, Fred Bear, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend. And I'll join you in the big hunt before too long. In the wind, he's still alive. 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 In the wind, I hear Fred Bear. I hear you, Fred. Talk to me. Yeah. It's alright. Yeah, let's go hunting, baby. Say, Fred, you go up that ridge, and I'll go down in the swamp. We'll get that buck.
If some of our teenage thrill seekers really want to go out and get a thrill, let them go up into the northwest and tangle with the grizzly bear, the polar bear, and the brown bear. They'll get that will cleanse the soul.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.